407-629-2661 or visit magicmechanic.com. Magic Mechanic, thanking our customers for 30 years in Central Florida.
Listening
waited
to
on here.
the Dana Lash show
the big one. The
in
year-end
my
closes
car.
now. Universal Hyundai. Triple the factory rebates or triple your down payment or triple your trade equity. Rebate, down payment, or trade equity of 2. Now we make it up to $6,000. 2018 Elantra, Sonata, Santa Fe. Closeout prices. Discounts up to $8,000. 0% available. Hyundai's come with America's best 100,000-mile warranty and Hyundai Assurance. The year-end closeout now at Universal Hyundai. Details available on universalhyundai.com.
Hi, I'm attorney Tom Olson. We've all heard horror stories of relatives fighting when parents pass away. I can help you avoid that and make things simple, easy, and inexpensive for your loved ones. I'm offering you a free consultation and a free review of your existing will or trust. I know from experience that you want to make things simple and easy when you die, and that starts by calling me, attorney Tom Olson, Olson Law Group in Orlando. I also do Saturday appointments.
You know the moment. The workday is over. Your daily responsibilities have been met. The shoes slip off and you lie back. It's that end of day. That's the relief you'll feel when you rest on the body-soothing Serenity, made locally at the Original Mattress Factory. Relief from middleman markups and a hard day's work. The Original Mattress Factory. Thoughtfully made, honestly priced. OriginalMattress.com.
Did you know that when you buy a mattress from a retail store, that mattress is being sold for the second time? What do I mean? Well, the manufacturer sells the mattress to the retailer, who in turn sells it to you with costs and markups for both parties. At the Original Mattress Factory, we have our own factory right here at our store. So the mattress you buy is being sold for the first and only time. That's why our prices are hundreds less than the mainstream mattress brands. Stop by one of our factory locations or visit us at originalmattress.com to see for yourself.
Airport, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram continues to save you money, Orlando.
Airport continues to be the #1 Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealer in Central Florida. We sell way more than the competition. That means you pay less. Volume pricing. Over 1,000 vehicles in stock. Airport. Bigger selection. Better new car pricing. And the easiest buying experience. Airport. 15 minutes from anywhere in Orlando. The only double the rebate dealer.
See you at Airport during the Jeep Adventure Days and Ram Powered Agent.
This is News 96.5 WDBO.
Ah, goodness. So,
Dana Lash.
This is just amazing, just what we're dealing with right now. It's just stopping a violent leftist mob, and we won't have to use the word mob. Just protest. That's all you have to do. So, coming up, Kathy Griffin decides to yell at me over Melania Trump for whatever reason. I don't know. We'll talk about that. And additionally,
trash.
We will discuss how I have some media hot takes for you about how we're not supposed to stay mob, and also how apparently it's okay to be, I guess, casually racist if you're a progressive talking about a free black thinker who just wants to go and exchange ideas. I will have that for you. Oh, and then what Trump was doing while everyone was getting mad, the 24 hours after everybody was getting mad that he met with Kanye. I got that as well, because we have a historic number of appointments to some benches around the country. We'll get into that. In the meantime, it's Quick 5.
It's time for Dana's Quick 5.
So a Turkish court ruled to release a U.S. pastor, and they finally, after 2 years, an evangelical pastor at the center of a bitter diplomatic row between Turkey and the United States, which could maybe be a first step towards mending ties between these NATO allies, although I always wonder why Turkey. But Andrew Brunson, he was charged with terrorism offenses, and he's been detained since October 2016, and so he was finally from North Carolina. He was finally released. He had lived in Turkey for more than 20 years. He was arrested 2 years ago, and it even led to tariffs against Turkey and condemnation from the president. So that's good news indeed. A New York man wanted to blow himself up on the National Mall on Election Day.
Why?
Paul Rosenfeld was arrested on charges that he built a bomb and planned to kill himself with it to draw attention to beliefs in ancient election system.
So stupid.
His belief in sortition, it's the ancient practice of randomly selecting legislators out of a pool of eligible voters. That sounds like hell, because what if you got picked and you didn't want to do it? Oh my gosh. But the plot unraveled because he told people about it. Specifically reporters.
What a moron.
And so that's how he ended up getting in trouble. Golly, what a nut job. And I can say that because that's only somebody crazy would do something like that.
They're crazy.
I'm just saying. Mitch McConnell says he's going to conduct a whip check on criminal justice reform after November 6th if it has 60 votes, and he'll put it on the floor. And they've been discussing it long enough, so that's awesome. So completely, which is very cool, this is finally some movement where it concerns social justice reform. This has been something that a lot of people have been wanting for a long time, and now it looks like it may actually finally happen. I told you this yesterday when we were discussing all the classification of felonies. This is disgusting. According to media in LA, piles of trash near Skid Row could be causing a typhus outbreak. A big, giant pile of rat-infested trash has been piling up for months in Los Angeles, and now they're concerned, health officials are concerned that it could be the cause of an outbreak of typhus among the homeless in downtown.
How are they taking care of it?
Oh, Mayor Eric Garcetti caught wind of it, I like that phrasing, and vowed to crack the case himself. How do you crack the case? It's a big pile of garbage in the middle of your city. What case is there to crack? Gosh, you genius. What case is there? I see some trash. I'm on the case. Just clean it up. What's so difficult about this? God, wait, these people. And, oh goodness, Heidi Heitkamp has made some people mad because she admits she ignored what North Dakotans wanted on Kavanagh. Ooh, she suggested that she didn't really listen to him because she has better judgment in a video that was released, and we'll get to more of that later. Oh my heavens. And then lastly, Steve Carell says the office would be too offensive today. He did this, he made mention of this in a profile Esquire published on him yesterday, and he said, yeah, I don't think that it would be able to be made today because of political correctness. Stay with us, Kathy Griffin, media mashup, and more.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I shopped the many highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $27 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-431-5790. That's 800-431-5790. 800-431-5790. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
This is News 96.5.
WDBO.
Where Orlando turns first for breaking news, weather, and traffic 24 hours a day.
And it starts now.
Good afternoon. Happy Friday. 1:30 at News 96.5 WDBO. Not a bad start to your weekend at all. We'll take a look at the interactive radar coming up. First, our top story today. Rescue operations continue in the Panhandle following Hurricane Michael.
This was big storm surge and wind driven. A lot of destruction from the beach side. Blocks in. Last year in Texas, Beaumont, Texas was all flood.
That rescuer comparing his experience to Hurricane Harvey. Most rescues in the Mexico Beach and Panama City area, as 11 people are now confirmed dead from that storm. Florida Governor Rick Scott asking people who evacuated to avoid going home just yet, as it's still not safe in many places.
News 96.5 WDBO, where Orlando turns first for severe weather.
I'm Channel 9 Eyewitness News meteorologist Stephanie Dion tracking a brief taste of fall.
Good afternoon, I'm Kevin Rayfuse taking a look at the interactive radar. We are completely dry out there, not a single pop-up shower anywhere. 86 degrees in downtown Orlando right now. High 80s all across our area, just not a bad one at all. More Dana Show in 4 minutes. But as we continue our team coverage today, Wall Street in the final day of a very volatile week. The Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ losing more than 5% of their value.
Markets have been rattled by rising interest rates, signs of a slowing global economy, and the U.S.-China trade war.
ABC's Mark Remillard says President Trump is blaming the Fed. Taking a look at the numbers right now, the Dow currently up 61 points, the NASDAQ up 88 points, S&P 500 up 12. And agencies in Orlando and Orange County coming together to tackle crime along Orange Blossom Trail.
The safety key task force consists of Orange County deputies, Orlando Police, City and County Code Enforcement. The group will meet monthly to try and come up with ways to reduce crime. One proposal under consideration, installing cameras at major intersections and bus stops, something the City of Orlando did years ago in Paramore, lowering crime rates in that area. Daryl Moody, News 96.5 WDBO.
132 at News 96.5 WDBO.
Have you been lied to? Lied to by Washington politicians and the Wall Street propaganda machine? Hi, I'm Inc. Magazine best-selling author Brent Kitchen, and if you're over 55 with an IRA or 401k, I want to give you a free copy of my new book, Wealth Beyond Wall Street, because according to Time Magazine, Wall Street's 401ks have failed millions of Americans. After losing 35% in my IRA in the crash years ago, I said enough. And since then, I discovered a way to grow money potential double digits, reduce taxes dramatically, and also have my money protected when the next stock market crash hits. When the next market crash hits, you lose nothing. Call Wealth Beyond Wall Street now to get your free book and talk to a specialist to discover this little-known strategy to get potential double-digit growth during good years and never lose in the market crashes. Call 800-207-4545 to discover this asset that people like Walt Disney and JCPenney use to grow wealthy. Plus, when you call right now, you get free shipping and handling, no credit card required. And I'll send you a free copy of the audiobook so you can listen in your car. Call 800-207-4545. That's 1-800-207-4545. 1-800-207-4545.
Amendment 3 puts voters in charge of gambling in Florida. That's how it works in many places. Red states like Texas, blue states like California, big states like New York, and small ones like Rhode Island. Even gambling states like New Jersey put voters in charge. That's how it used to work in Florida, too. For decades, gambling issues were decided by voters. Then politicians took that power for themselves. Amendment 3 returns it to the people. In the last decade, casino lobbyists gave nearly $50 million to Florida politicians. So restoring voter control of gambling is a common sense safeguard that reduces corruption and empowers you. Voters across America already have this power. You should too. So vote for you by voting yes on Amendment 3. Paid political advertisement paid for by voters in charge. P.O. Box 1991, Orlando, Florida 32802.
Guarding your nest egg with Mike Lester.
Anything stand out that Mom and Dad taught you about money growing up here in Florida?
They made it very possible for me to go out and earn my own money. I'm not going to really pay you very much to mow our yard, but I'll let you use all the lawn equipment to go mow other people's yards.
Okay, so you made you a little business guy.
Exactly.
Check out Guarding Your Nest Egg with Mike Lester Saturday afternoon at 1 or Sunday afternoon at 1 here on News 96.5.
Securities offered through TCM Securities Inc. Members FINRA SIPC.
Hey, it's Sean Hannity, and you are listening to News 96.5 WDBO, where Orlando turns for breaking news, weather, and traffic 24 hours a day.
Weather brought to you by Tuffy Tire and Auto Service.
A nice dry end to the work week and start to the weekend with lots of sunshine around. Temperatures are going to heat up nicely. This afternoon, we're expecting a high around 90, but it will be much cooler tonight. Low temperature dropping all the way down into the upper 60s. Sunshine returns on Saturday with a high in the upper 80s. We'll have a small chance of rain coming in late in the day on Sunday. From Channel 9 Eyewitness News, I'm meteorologist Stephanie D.
Now,
Safe Touch Security.
Triple Team Traffic.
I-4 eastbound looks pretty good. You've got some slight delays past Disney and downtown picking up a little bit. Kaylee to Amelia. Westbound looks a little heavy at that Colonial off-ramp. And we get a crash on Hiawassee just south of Silver Star. This report is brought to you by Racetrack Pizza. Anyone right now get a $1 pizza slice when you buy a 20-ounce Coke or medium fountain drink only at participating Racetrack locations. Get whatever gets you going. With traffic alerts every 6 minutes in the morning, we're helping you get to work on time. I'm Jackie O'Brien, News 96.5 WDBO.
This is Dana Lash. I love it when we're hanging out, but sometimes we do have some urgent local traffic information. That's why News 96.5 WDBO will break into my show with a red alert traffic report.
We'll tell you what's causing the delay, how much time it'll add to your drive, and how to get around
because
it.
And we
they're
promise
run by
to keep
the
the alert
liberal
short
media,
and get right
and
back
they
to the
want
show.
to make
This
sure
is where
that
Orlando
all the
turns
information
first
that
for
Dana
frequent
Lash and
traffic
Sean
alerts.
Hannity
News
try and get out to the
96.5
public,
WDBO.
they just want to try and get them to
Now,
shut
the
up.
Data Show on News
They
96.5
interrupt the show
WDBO.
just to make sure that they don't get their point across to the people
They are
listening on the
protesting. They are
radio.
not an angry mob.
I know that's what they're doing.
Answer your question that you asked of her. Is it mob behavior?
No, it's
And he's created this idea of a mob.
You guys are a mob. That sounds like a mob.
In the way that the leader McConnell has done is just wrong.
in the Constitution. You can protest whenever and wherever you want.
Yeah, but not in a riot. You can't do it in a sense where it turns into riot. Stop. Protest can turn into rioting. That's the problem.
We're hearing
That's not protesting, that's rioting.
Angry mob, even though these were just peaceful protesters.
Peaceful protesters, my foot. They were rioters.
Are running on this idea that the left is an angry mob.
They are an angry mob.
Right here. I said stop. You understand?
Wherever you come down on Brett Kavanaugh, describing protesters as a mob doesn't fit the facts.
Yes, it does. You are a lying piece of crap.
Killed her 3-year-old child.
Which side was more mob-like? Clearly it was the Republicans.
But you are a liar. You're a liar.
Yeah, that was a great, I mean, that was it's an ad now that the GOP made. They didn't even have to hire anyone. Democrats just did it all for them. Is that, I wonder if they would, if that's like in-kind donation.
That's the only good thing that Democrats have done in this country.
Oh, my goodness. So, they're saying don't call it a mob. Oh my gosh, I got people so mad on the Webernets because I said it's a mob. Period.
Then why are
it's
you acting like a mob?
It's a mob. That's it. I mean, there's nothing else
That's
to it.
right, Dana Lash.
Nothing else to
it's
it.
a mob.
The people chanting something at a rally, because this is what I've seen media try to say. Well, they were chanting lock her up at a Trump rally. That's the same thing. Shooting up a ball field. It's not even. No, it's the same thing as beating down at Supreme Court building doors. No, it's not. It's not. It's a mob. And leftist violence, by the way, didn't just happen with Trump. And I realized that there are a lot of people, including Brian Stelter, who I went back and forth with today, who somehow think that
I was watching a YouTube video years ago where there was a student
liberals,
who was protesting against his teacher. They were having an argument over Obama. Obviously, the student was anti-Obama, and the teacher gave him hell for it.
Out of the discourse, that's it. They've always been violent. Go back to Occupy. Go back to the people who were bussed in and paid by Mueller to go and ride in Ferguson. Or what about Weather Underground? We could go back to the 60s. There were dead people. I mean, that happened. There is zero comparison. Zero. None. My friend David French has a great piece about this, too, over at National Review. There's just simply zero comparison at all whatsoever, because the mob is a real thing. And it's a mob. If you don't like it being called a mob, then don't act like a mob.
Bingo!
It's menacing. This is not activism. When you're stalking somebody at an airport, when you run them out of a restaurant, that's not activism, that's intimidation.
Yeah.
Completely different. There's a difference between mob action and legally protected protest.
Yeah.
Because you're creating the risk of harm.
Exactly.
It is designed to intimidate people. There is zero place for a mob in America.
That's right.
Not in any kind of constitutional republic.
No, absolutely.
And I know that everybody, all the media, they got all their little talking points.
Yeah, of course.
And they're so mad. The most ironic thing to me
the wicked
was
witches of daytime television.
Because I said, look, it's a mob.
Whoopi Goldberg
And then after people got mad, I said, yeah, by the way, still a mob.
Of daytime television.
Still a mob, FYI. Mob behavior means it's a mob. And raging and cussing at me over this whole thing just enhances my point further.
Is that what
We're not a mob, you stupid bitch. We're not a mob. You see you next Tuesday, you gun whore. We're not a mob. Oh my gosh. I had 2 people tell me yesterday I should be shot because they are not a mob. Well, you showed me.
Does that sound like protesting?
What is wrong with people?
Threatening to shoot her or saying that you wish she would be shot? That's protesting?
And they are they don't want to be told that because they know that it freaks out voters. And voters are watching.
Yeah, and we're getting smart.
Voters were watching.
We're getting smart. And we got started by getting Donald Trump into the White House.
They see all of how nasty these people are.
Exactly.
And Rand Paul was beaten practically to death in his yard by a Democrat who didn't like his politics. Hey, don't get mad at me. Get mad at the Kentucky media that reported it. You people who are trying to rewrite history.
Yeah.
Tiny tears. I'm just not. It's just insane to see.
And you want to know something? I think that's one of the reasons
you had
why
an employee of Sheila Jackson Lee
figures that are supposed to be historical figures are officially called mythological figures like Moses, the prophet Moses, you know.
And even
officially on the history books, Moses is considered a mythological figure that he never existed. And I think the reason why is because he embarrassed the nation of Egypt so bad that they wanted to wipe it away. They wanted to erase it from the history books.
This is how they're trying to spin
the empire of Egypt did not want to be remembered as a great empire that got mocked and embarrassed by a great God and his Hebrew prophets.
You know, we went back and forth on this a little bit.
Think about that.
I was discussing how the... I replied to him. He said, President Trump is leading a hate movement against the press.
No,
but it's not just against the press. What stands out at his rallies, and he's quoting this piece at the New Yorker, which is just
against anybody.
Really, it is a too long column of MySpace venting. It's like somebody just discovered LiveJournal. The only thing that was missing is an emoji to correctly capture their feels at the time of writing and what they're listening to. Boy, that took it back to the 90s, didn't it? And he says that he's quoting, it says, well, you know, the president's leading a hate movement against the press, you know, et cetera, et cetera. Someone who watched his rallies on TV said, oh, the hate and sense of actual menace that he's trying to convey to his supporters.
Oh, Lord,
and I wrote, people chanting something at a rally, hence the lock her up thing when they were talking about Feinstein. And they're not going to go out and physically drag her from her home or run her out of a restaurant. They'll go and vote. That's what they do. But I said, people chanting something at a rally is not comparable to stalking people in airports, attacking them in their yards, running them out of restaurants, blocking traffic while damaging cars, doxing families, and shooting up a congressional ballgame. That column is just plain silly.
Yeah.
He says, well, there's been
none of
lots
those
of political
things are
violence
protesting.
Both
that's rioting.
Do you think the leader of our country is helping to calm things down?
Attempted murder. That's terrorism.
Well,
that is not protest.
I said, do you think that this began with this administration, or are you purposely ignoring Occupy? Boston rioters paid by more to go to Ferguson. Weather Underground. And if he blames Trump, and what of Hillary and Booker and Waters and Holder and even Obama? Because by his logic, they called for violence. And I added further, if we're comparing, I have witnessed and I have personally experienced way more threatening behavior from the left than the right. I don't think Republicans should rise to match the tone of people like Maxine Waters or Hillary Clinton. And I've always condemned when I've seen it happen.
People on the right don't do it. I don't do it.
Always.
I just protest in my videos on YouTube.
And he says,
well,
I don't doubt that you're a right-wing fixture. Folks on the left personally experience more of it from the right. I wish leaders would work to make things better, not worse.
But I don't
know anyone on the left who had to move because of repeated conservative or Republican threats.
And I'm not going to be insulting to somebody. I'm not going to insult someone to their face.
And I don't doubt that there are absolutely people on the left who've endured similar, but how often and how severe seems outmeasured.
I don't hurt them.
You know, this is I also hope it changes. I mean, that's the thing. I also hope it changes. But I'm not going to be told that, well, it's both sides. No, it's not.
I'm going to vote for Rick Scott for Florida Senate. I'm going to vote Ron DeSantis.
You mean the rally that was organized by a Democrat?
I'm
the
going
guy
to
who
vote
voted for Obama? That
if you vote for Democrats, you are basically voting for more governmental power over civilians, higher taxes,
you can sit here and march with your tiki torches that you got at Home Depot 6 ways a Sunday. I believe in free speech, even for people whose speech is absolutely sounds like
that's what you're voting for when you're voting for Democrats.
I'm totally fine with that. Go ahead and have your free speech, your peaceful free speech. You meet speech you don't like with more speech.
I meet the standards of peaceful free speech than all these other idiots
who knew someone
act like
who
a
knew
bunch
the
of idiots
people that were there that were open
they're
carrying that had firearms there.
Brent Kavanagh,
Apparently, and this is what I was told by this
ruckus.
individual who lives actually in Charlottesville. They were saying that those people showed up not to like protect the tiki torch people, but to protect the counter protesters, and not even because they agreed with them, but because they didn't want it to all get out of hand, and they knew that there probably wouldn't be enough resources there to stop it if it did. And then you had somebody driving the car that killed Heather Heyer, which is horrible. But it's like, okay, so, and
heartless.
How is that attributed to Trump? Yeah.
People
and
will
furthermore,
say anything against
I wish people
Trump,
would
no
match
matter
my
what.
consistency, or your consistency, Kane, or other people's consistency. None of these individuals at all whatsoever have condemned the stuff that Hillary Clinton has said.
No, they haven't.
Or Maxine Waters.
No.
They refuse outright to condemn Antifa. They have refused to condemn the protests on college campuses where people sock people in the face and burn down buildings.
Yeah, that's not protest.
So, before you criticize, why don't you match my consistency? Or other
how about
people's
that?
Consistency?
Quit acting like a bunch of vicious animals and act like civilians. Act like civilized people, distinguished gentlemen, and proper ladies. Maybe if you start acting like that, maybe people will actually take you seriously.
Was a hardcore Democrat. He voted for Barack Obama. Did the media tell you that? No. Is anybody surprised that a guy who came from the party that was
Wait a minute, did
that
they say
formed
that
the
Kanye
KKK
West voted for Obama?
would have a tiki torch rally in Charlottesville? Is anybody surprised at that? Don't believe me? Go Google it. Washington Post wrote about it. Good heavens. Yes, it's horrible. But I wonder if the people who are making a big deal out of it, if they'll condemn it less, and rightfully should be, if they'll condemn it less because it was somebody of their own ideology that did it, that organized it.
Oh, come on.
That's the thing. It's all awful. So what right does that give you to say the stuff that you're saying? What right does it give it when
Who gives you idiots the right
idea that
to riot? What gives you the right to just go ahead and cause a ruckus
people are
and
just like,
disturb
well,
the
you know,
peace
it's justified.
and terrorize people and intimidate people?
What about when somebody
just because
made an
they don't
effigy
agree
of
with your
Obama
political views?
And set it on fire? Yeah, that was stupid. And I said the same thing when I was at a rally and I saw leftists make an effigy of Bush and set that on fire too. And your point. What's your point?
Yeah,
you want to do this, fouls measure and whataboutism BS all day? Or are you going to actually condemn the people that are shooting up congressional ball fields that are volunteering for the candidates you voted for?
Condemn people who
Or how about
prepare
this?
protesting to
Maybe
rioting
you're going to say Hillary
and actually
Clinton,
riot
the person
in
that,
Washington, D.C.
the other person that we voted for, maybe she shouldn't say things like, we're not going to be civil until we have power. Or Maxine Waters, your Democrat lawmaker. Maybe she shouldn't say go and find them where they are and make them uncomfortable.
Every time I listen to this, every time I hear it, I always
Run
say
them out of
that
the country.
greatest victory that we have had over radical feminism
Or what about,
was
I
when
could go on and
Donald
on.
Trump kicked Hillary Clinton's
What about
butt
Antifa?
in the 2016 presidential election.
What about the Stooges
and
that were
Hillary
in
Clinton
blocking
is supposed to
traffic
be
and
one of the most
beating up cars
influential
and
women in
hitting
American
old people?
history, assumedly or
When
allegedly.
the hell are you any of you people going to get around to condemning that stuff? Are you going to sit here and do, well, what about this thing here that conservatives, that one person did that all conservatives jumped on and made this guy's life a living hell? What about that? What about you? You people are the one that have a body count. And you've had a body count since the 60s.
Yeah.
You killed people with Weather Underground.
Yeah.
You raped people with Occupy. I was at the rallies. I said, stop raping people.
Christopher Stevens lost his life
I saw you beat
because
a black
Barack
man in a
Obama
parking
and Hillary
lot because
Clinton
you thought he was
refused to do
conservative
anything to
because he was
help
selling
him.
Tea Party merchandise. I saw you with my own eyes take him to the ground. You guys want to play this game?
You're gonna lose.
I saw you stalk out a congressional baseball field and start screaming out stuff, this is for healthcare, as you filled it with lead and tried to end the lives of numerous Republican lawmakers. You guys want to play this game? You won't like it. Because you're going to have to do some serious soul searching.
If they even have souls. I doubt they even have hearts.
I watched as you put pictures of my home on the internet.
Oh, man.
Tried to find my kid's school. I watched as you published my phone number.
This is what freaking Democrats do.
I watched as you threatened to
This is what
murder
liberal,
my family in my front
leftist,
yard.
anti-Trump people do. This is exactly
And
what
I
they
watched as
do.
you drove by my damn house.
Yeah.
And I watched as the police
So
were at my
why
house
the
at midnight,
hell
as you
is
called.
Donald Trump and Brent Kavanagh getting all this
Officer
bull
Stewart
crap?
answered the
Why?
phone.
It should be Barack Obama getting it. It should be Joe
And
Biden
you
getting
threatened
it.
him
Hillary Clinton,
because you thought it
Bill
was my
Nelson, should be Nancy Pelosi, Elizabeth
Yeah, I
Warren.
was there. I
They should be
saw
getting
all
this
of it.
bull crap. Not
You
Donald
guys-
Trump,
again, you guys
not
seriously
Brent
wanna play this
Kavanaugh,
game? And I was there.
not Ron DeSantis, not
saw
Rick
it
Scott, none of them.
As you all kept doing it, told me I'd never be safe, And I had to move because of you.
Yeah. How American of you. How patriotic of you freaking
security
idiots.
system in my home. Because you people kept coming to my house. How about that? Guys, anybody want to respond to that? You still want to do this whataboutism?
And if they do try and respond to it, they're going to lie about it because that's what they do. They freaking lie. They're not going to tell the truth.
You guys have a body count. And it's awful. It is absolutely awful, and it's inexcusable.
But somehow they managed to get away with it.
And you have the audacity, because someone ratchets up their rhetoric, and a Republican for the first time hits back in a tone that Republicans aren't even uncomfortable with, and they're not even used to. It makes them uncomfortable. And they even criticize him for doing it. And you want to act like that's comparable?
It's not.
To your body count? You want to act like it's comparable? A senator's wife having to sleep with a gun by her bed because she's afraid you're going to descend on her house? What the hell is wrong with you people? You're not acting like Americans. You're acting like a bunch of rioters and Venezuelan government mobsters is what you're acting like.
Yeah. God, I can't wait
America.
until this election coming up.
Grow
I can't
up,
wait.
Learn to coexist with people peacefully, and you know what?
I can do that.
Maybe you'll start winning some elections again.
I've done it. My church is filled with plenty of liberals who are anti-Trump. But thank God that they have enough godly behavior.
Did you know that you can vote with your dollar by switching to Patriot Mobile? Patriot Mobile provides nationwide reliable service with unlimited talk and text for less money and no hidden fees. Patriot Mobile automatically donates